There we go. Hey friends. Sorry, my mic was not working for a moment there, but we've got that result. How's everybody out there doing tonight? Hope you all have had a good weekend. Hope you had a good week. I know I've been out of town, but we are back. We're back tonight to do some more character prep for War Within. RS Blendon, thank you for the first time chat. Things are going pretty well. I am feeling rested a little bit, kind of. I don't know. Vacationing with kids isn't always super relaxing, but we had a great time. We had a wonderful time with our family, and feeling a little recharged, ready to go. Gonna be doing some keys on live tonight, just continuing to prep characters for the War Within. Coming from my Prot Warrior YouTube video. Glad you decided to check me out on Twitch. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed that video. I mean, if you're here hanging out while I'm streaming, I'm assuming that you did. Hey. Yeah, I'm going to work on a video tonight talking about what my main character is going to be in War Within, but I'll give you guys a spoiler who are joining early on stream here. It's going to be Warrior. It's going to be the Prot Warrior. I'm having too much fun on this class to put it on the shelf, so we'll be starting with this one. I do also plan to put in a lot of effort on at least 2 other tanks, so tune into the video to find out which 2 of those will be. But I'm planning to wrap that video up tonight. Hopefully it'll go live early morning. Mountain Thane, I really like both of the hero talents for Warrior, but Mountain Thane feels a lot more fun at this point. But I'll probably play both of them. Hey, how's it going, Christopher? Hope you're doing well tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some Warrior keys tonight. As you can see, my my vault is looking quite bare at the moment, so we gotta at least get a couple of options. I know upgrades at this point are not a huge priority, but I would like to get my gear like as close to Abyss on my Warrior as I can. I definitely am going to prioritize trying to get speed items. I already have a couple of rings lined up with speed. I took this one from the vault this week, and I had this one sitting in my bags already that I got earlier in the season from, I don't know, somewhere. I don't remember where this one drops. But yeah, we're looking to get some gear on the Warrior. So I think we're going to go ahead and dive into some keys. Got at least one guildie who wants to run with us tonight, so we'll get that going real quick. But yeah, I hope you all had a good week. I'm feeling ready to get back into streaming and making videos. I know it's only been, this hasn't even been a week away, but the break was very refreshing. Got to spend a lot of good time with family. Got to unplug from technology for a while. At least computers for a while. I was probably on my phone a lot still, but you know how it goes. Do you think I'll do the War Within dungeon guides, like routing and stuff? I'm planning to. Routing is a little bit of a challenge right now. Now, I haven't looked tonight, or I haven't looked since I got back home today, but when I was starting to decide to unplug, crazy stuff and the issue goes down. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about all that stuff on stream. I'd rather keep the politics and the madness of the world away. You know, we're trying to just have a good time here. But yeah, for War Within dungeon stuff, I am planning to do videos on dungeons. The routing is a little bit of a challenge right now because, at least as of last weekend, none of the tools to create routes had been updated, at least that I was able to find. But I at least want to make videos talking about like what all the different bosses do, like what trash packs do, especially like really dangerous ones and stuff you need to be aware of. and then give like a kind of a rough estimate of like what you can skip, what I would skip based on my experience in testing. That'd be good to watch them for sure. Good to know. Yeah, that's kind of the next like series that I've been planning after kind of going through, well, I haven't done Prot Paladin yet, but going through most of the tanks. Just waiting for a couple guildies to be ready here. And then we'll get in some keys. I have a 10 Brackenhide right now, so I just flew over to the old Brackenhide hollow entrance here. Just invite people, get our group going. We'll force Franken to decide what character he's gonna play. He declined on his Demon Hunter. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and list my key. What are the affixes this week? Entangling and bolstering. Okay, not too bad. Bolstering can be annoying, but bolstering fortified can be really annoying. But I think we'll be fine on a 10. Do I watch House of the Dragon? I have been watching House of the Dragon, yeah. It's been a really, really good show. Frank's playing his DK, so I think that means I'm playing Fury. At least to start with tonight. It'd be good to get the rust off for Fury, because this is the spec I'll be using to level with in War Within. Yeah, there's lots of good shows out right now. It's hard to keep track of all of them. I guess depending on your opinions, there's just lots of shows out right now. I guess now that okay, so I used my bullion today to buy a shield. So I have a 528 main hand, 528 shield. I don't really need a weapon or anything from these places. I don't really need trinkets either. I guess let's leave my loot spec as... you know what? I'll put my loot spec as arms. Because in the event that I get a weapon, two-handers sell for more gold than one-handers. Okay, we got a healer here. Make sure we keep an eye on that queue. I'm fairly new, trying to learn tanking. Probably arms is my off spec though. Arms and Fury are both good. Arms has been kind of busted on the beta. I'm just kind of partial to Fury. Something about using two big weapons just feels really cathartic to me. We can pick up this hunter. I don't know if this healer's going to join. Perfect. Got a full group. I also just have a lot more experience playing Fury, so I'm a little better at it. Looks like we're losing our paladin here, so we will have to fill that spot. No, we're going to start a group, not search for a group. You're fairly new. Are you fairly new to WoW in general? If so, welcome to Azeroth. Hope you're enjoying it so far. We got a friend to come along here. kind of new. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. It seems like you're interested in War Within, which probably means you're enjoying Dragonflight so far. Alright, let's get some buffs here. Oh, used up one stack of runes there. I think we're kind of at the point where, like, I don't know if I should be buying more buff items for Dragonflight. It's probably time to start selling off all the crafting materials at the very least. I'll toss lead to Franken since he's tanking. Glad they made the guild changes where you can be any server, any faction. We can actually get any guild now. Yeah, I think that's a hugely positive change for the game. Like, the cross-faction stuff was really good when they added that. And I think just kind of like chipping away those barriers is really healthy. Like like you see people out in the open world all the time now from every server, so. Yeah, having the ability to join people that you see out in the open world, or people that you like finding keys, join their guild. I think that's a great change for the long term of the game. Alright, I will grab the cage. Melnar, thank you for the Prime. Welcome back. Hope you've had a good week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, as you can see, we're actually doing some DPS in this dungeon here. Been a rough week IRL and further away than ever picking my main. But other than that, we're looking good. Good to see you back online. Yeah, it's good to be back online. I had a good week away. I'm sorry, your week was a little rough. Hopefully we can unwind together tonight. And whatever's going on, I'm glad you're here. And I hope your next week is better than this last one. Uh-oh. Lost our tank here. Yeah, one of the things about doing lots of content with both of the tanks from your guild is you end up trading off tanking. But we're kind of at that point in the expansion where lots of people are taking a break right now, so we'll take what we can get. I always like playing with Rankin anyway. I don't mind DPSing some of the time. I get to play Fury, that's always a fun thing for me. Get to grind that axe. Yeah, so I'm sure we will be doing some tanking at some point tonight, but for now, just chilling and chopping. Got our legendary axe, got our ashcander. Getting a little bit carried by our enhancement shaman and hunter here, but hey, it's my off spec. Oh, I stood in the blade storm. Don't do that, especially when you're a DPS. Don't do that. You play Prot Warrior and you have shield block up all the time, and you're like, yeah, I can stand on this. Then you play Fury with, you know, a million less health and no blocks. It doesn't go so well. Excited to start playing with you guys soon? Yeah, it'll be great to have you. I don't think we're gonna do any official raiding until the new expansion, but I'm sure we'll have lots of people for leveling stuff and dungeons, all the goodness that goes on at the start of an expansion. Sadly, we'll be on vacation for I think it'll be the second or third week of the raid. Blizzard to go release it. We thought it was going like late September. Yeah, they sure got it out earlier than we were expecting. It's not a bad thing, but I think some people definitely got caught a little bit off guard by that. But we will be glad to have you whenever you're able to make it. Make sure we just run away from that blade storm. It looks like it got perched off. I'll open this cage. I'm gonna turn the music down just a little bit. Not standing that blade storm either. Gonna pop cooldowns here. It's probably a mistake to hit Fearlath during cooldowns. Some execute cleave in here.
Whirlwind. Next pull, we'll get some big AoE going in the pop the axe. Yeah, I can't really delay using it anymore. Attack totem.
Ah, and now the tree comes in. Just blow up this totem real quick.
Watch your step. Breath incoming. Break right.
Yeah, just gonna rot out with our healer down there. Run back in this dungeon is still pretty brutal. Hope everyone out there is having a good weekend so far. Everybody's ready for a new week. It's almost upon us. Or maybe it is, depending on where you are in the world. Reaching the end of Season 4 of Dragonflight. We'll be moving into the pre-patch in, what, 10 days now? Kind of crazy how fast Dragonflight has gone. It's like the amount of content that they've packed in compared to Shadowlands and BFA in basically the same amount of time, or significantly less time, I guess. Feels pretty good. Hopefully they can keep up the pace with War Within. I think these like 6 to 7 month seasons are really the sweet spot. So we had a couple like 10-month seasons in Shadowlands, and that was way too long. Season 4 has felt a little bit short, but I think that's fine for Season 4, where we're basically just like giving the expansion's content another go around. I've had fun with it. More than I thought I would.
Watch your step. Breath incoming.
Oh, that may have been a mistake. Oh no. I got aggro on a lot of stuff here. Mostly little stuff, so we think we'll be fine. Kill this totem before it kills us.
3, 2, 1. Break line. Watch your step.
Yeah, we're gonna fall again. At least you can mount in this place. Oh, healer died too. Might be bad news. The good thing is we're almost to the second boss. Which means we're almost done with the trash too. Oh, this one's gonna be a full wipe though. Pulled off a little more than we could chew there. Might have some kiting action going on here. Yep. Here comes our tank to the rescue. Maybe. I don't know, a DK running in on a kite pull like this is not always the best thing.
Attack totem.
He's got to have some time to build up runic power before he's safe from getting crunched. I'm going to play it safe and use my Rage Heart. Rage Heart is such a good trinket. Having a defensive trinket that does a pretty solid amount of damage is always really cool. I mean, I mainly bought it for tanking, but I do not object to having it. Good grief. One stack of Withering is crazy. Use our victory rush to heal up here. Yeah, definitely gonna use cooldowns on these guys. Chop these trees.
Watch your step.
Are they changing the dungeon mods in the War Within? Do you mean the affixes? If so, yes, they're getting a pretty substantial overhaul. Yeah, no worries. I also want to make sure, because there's like, when you say mods, sometimes I think like add-ons or things like Deadly Boss mods, right? Yeah, they're doing a pretty big overhaul of the affix system. So there's going to be, at level 2, you won't have Fortified and Tyrannical anymore. Those are getting moved up a little bit. At level 2, you'll have one of potentially a few seasonal affixes, or at least we're assuming they're seasonal. They could just be like expansion long. That will have a similar gameplay interaction to how like the current affixes are, but they're going to have like a Kiss Curse design. So if you do the affixes correctly, you get a buff. If you ignore them or do them incorrectly, then you get punished a little bit for it. So like one example is Xalatath, who's like the big bad of the expansion, will pop out and summon a bunch of orbs. And if you collect the orbs, you get like a 1% haste buff or maybe 2% haste buff per orb that gets collected. And if you don't, the enemies get a 10% haste buff per orb that did not get collected. So, like, it's pretty easy to do. Well, I guess you actually have to see them and not collect them. But, you get the idea. So it's pretty easy to do, and it's got a little bit of a benefit if you do it correctly. I think that's a really cool design. And then I forget what the other one. There's like another new one that I didn't get to test yet this week. We'll try and take a look at it at some point. At level 4, I believe you will have either fortified or tyrannical, and those will rotate on a weekly basis, kind of like they do now. And then at level 7, there's a very passive affix that does one thing. And the thing that it does is it changes the death penalty on the dungeon timer from 5 seconds to 15 seconds. So that one just kind of punishes you for making mistakes, right? Which I think is okay as you're trying to push into higher key levels. Like, you have lower key levels to learn the dungeons, and then you start to need to demonstrate more mastery over them as you get higher. And then at level 10 you get either fortified or tyrannical, whichever one is not active, so you'll have both of them for all level 10 and higher dungeons. It summons an ad you have to kill. If you do, you get a crit buff. If not, it buffs enemies. Okay, cool, thanks Soul. Hi, by the way. And then at level 12, I believe, there's one that replaces the level 2 affix and just gives health and damage to all the enemies in the dungeon. It might be all non-boss enemies. I'm not 100% sure on that. Basically, the idea is, like, once you get to a point where you're only pushing for score, they want to remove some of the RNG and, like, random interactive elements and just make you focus on showing mastery over the dungeon. Removing 8s for the vault? I believe so. I'm not sure if that has changed. I know they tweaked it a little bit, going from Season 3 to Season 4. I mean, they kind of changed the level skilling a lot going into Season 4, but I think it'll still be level 8s. It might be level 9s. I'm thinking it would be a good idea to make a video kind of going over like all the system changes to Mythic Plus. I want to wait till they're like kind of ironed out and more or less confirmed though, because they are still changing things. At least like even as of this week they've changed stuff, so I think it's 9s. Yeah, it might be 9s for myth track items. And then 10s would just get you like a slightly higher level on the myth track. Thanks for the confirmation, Melnar. It is only non-boss enemies that get buffed by the level 12 affix. I'm thinking 11 is the only kind of dead level where you don't get new affixes and you don't get better gear. I think there is still some value in doing 11s though. Like historically, if you wanted to be doing 20s, it made sense to do some 21s, especially if it was an easier key. Because then, like, if disaster happens, you still have a level 20 key to do, right? Which is kind of the same with, like, doing 10s or 11s now. Or I guess 9s or 10s if you're just going for Vault. Which is all I'm really doing. I'm going for Vault and, hopefully Crests. I need so many Crests to upgrade my gear to the level that I want to. I'm way behind on the warrior grind. But yeah, I think the changes are almost entirely positive. I'm a little skeptical of the balancing of having both fortified and tyrannical on keys, especially as you like, if you want to push beyond 10s. Looking for it score-wise, that are for difficulty gear, 11 is the only awkward one. That's true. Made me smell like meat. It's the dungeon themselves I'm worried about. Everyone's saying there's more melee punishing and Uber CC dependent in Season 4. Yeah. So like one of the changes they're trying to make is like mobs will recast if they're stopped in general. So like most of the dungeons right now, if you use a stun on a mob that's casting something, it will not recast that ability. Like it'll go on cooldown. And so if it casts it every 10 seconds, it'll wait 10 seconds before it tries to cast it again. They're trying to change things in War Within so that stuff will recast immediately, which is how things used to work. The theory that Blizzard is going for is that that will make having lots of stuns in your group less mandatory. It seems like it's probably going to have the opposite effect, and people will just want even more stuns so that you can... I mean, and not just stuns, but like disorients, fears, all that kind of stuff. Because the meta is not going to be like, okay, well, we're just going to deal with this mechanic, because the mechanic is like a one-shot, right? Or like a lot of casting abilities that you want to stop, you want to stop them for reasons, because they're incredibly dangerous. And if you let them go off, people are going to die.
Spread.
So, what it really does, in effect, is make stops even more valuable and more important, especially for like really dangerous big pulls that you're trying to do. I also think this is something that could definitely change before the expansion launches. But the War Within dungeons are very, very difficult right now, and they actually buffed some of them. There's one dungeon that I'm going to do a video on because I put in like almost an entire stream just practicing it, called Stone Vault. And it has some very, very difficult boss fights that they actually buffed a couple of this week, which was quite eyebrow-raising. There's like a council boss that was really, really challenging. It was like a pug killer on level 3 and 4 keys that I was trying to do. And they gave it some pretty significant buffs to the outgoing damage, which was giving our healer a lot of problems when I was trying to pug it. So, not sure what data they were going off of for that, but
Run.
oh no, that raw hexer got pulled.
Interrupt.
Makes melee interrupts better in theory. That is true, but if you also have like incredibly punishing melee mechanics, then like people are just going to deal with it. Feels like they don't want people getting portals until late in the season. Obviously, if you're a top level player, you'll be at 12s and pushing in no time. But right now, it seems like you have to be great to do 10s. Something that'll slow down my dungeon super hard. That may be some of it. I do think gear scaling has a pretty big impact. Like, keep in mind that people are already doing 10s and 12s on the beta in like normal dungeon level gear, and those are the elite players, but having like another 30 or 40 item levels will help those of us who aren't on that level. So we'll see how the tuning ends up being as well, you know. Sometimes things are like crazy on beta and then they get nerfed right before everything goes live. And at least in Dragonfly, they were pretty quick to nerf some of the stuff that was like outrageously overtuned.
Watch your step. Break run. Run.
And they were pretty consistent about like adjusting dungeons, at least in Season 1. They kind of fell off once their... Oh wow, that was a lot of damage. And once they got into like actually working on War Within, it kind of felt like.
Break run.
I think a lot of it is just going to come down to dungeon tuning. Like, hopefully they make a lot of these one-shot abilities that exist in the game right now less less prevalent, right? Gear scaling always went out. Only whereas the average Joe needs a lot of gear to push him to 10s, like a progression week to week might discourage people. Yeah, I think that's a valid concern, and I think that's something that's like up to Blizzard to be on top of tuning and be responsible with it. Now, whether or not you trust them to do that is another story. I think they've done a lot to earn a lot of trust over the course of Dragonflight. Class tuning, maybe less so. Like there's been some overpowered specs that have been allowed to be overpowered for way too long. But that's probably a more complicated thing to get right than I would give him credit for. I just noticed this hunter has a pig pet. Also, I just noticed I've been in no stance this whole time. Rip.
Watch your step.
I need to make my weak aura that tells me when I don't have a stance active a little more prevalent. I trust them make changes for sure. They're hitting more than missing lately, but the dungeon buffs, some of the decisions are head scratchy. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I'd like to see... I don't know, maybe this is a hard thing to ask, but I would love to see some actual like patch notes about why they make the changes that they do. They definitely do better than they used to with including patch notes and stuff like that, but it would be nice if like they would give more just to know what they're thinking, right?
Attack totem.
Because you see that like with Stone Vault, they buff a dungeon that like at least pugs were struggling really hard on, and you know I've heard other content creators say the same thing. Like that was a very, very difficult dungeon, and the boss they buffed in particular was like
Attack totem.
very like pug killer type boss. And so when you see them buff that, it's kind of like, what are they doing here? Like, what are they looking at that I'm not?
Watch your step.
Okay, I'm willing to trust them until
Attack totem.
until things go live in a bad state, if that happens. And I'm not sure that it will. It does feel like some things are being a little bit rushed with War Within, but
Attack totem.
I'll probably just, I should just stay on boss there. Right, look at those buffs have a note of, while these buffs may seem strange given current main environment with the dungeon knowledge and gear the players actually have 3, 4, 5 weeks into the season, maybe these buffs will prevent the dungeon from being overpowered by item level. Yeah, I think that's a really good perspective. Like that may be what their thought process exactly was. We got a belt. I have a myth track belt. If only this had a tertiary on it. Oh well. Get a little bit of gold. Let's see, my key went to Neltharus 11. Oh, I can give this belt to Franken. We will for sure do that. Alright, Franken, I'll take the 45 gold. But instead, you can give up the vibe. They're very out of touch. You can't blame pessimists for feeling that way. Yeah, I mean, for a long time, Blizzard was out of touch and didn't give info or details about what was going on. So I think it's understandable to be very skeptical of changes like that and read them in a negative light. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt in general. So, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and complain about things that haven't happened yet, but I'm also not gonna like be argumentative with people who are. I think it's a valid perspective. Let's get Mortimer in here. Let's see what other people are gonna play. You get the message after. I didn't realize we were doing a 10. Explains a little bit of the aggressive pulls, but we timed it. It would probably be wiser to just do 8s if we're going for vault and crest farming. I'll for sure drop my Neltharus to a 10. Don't need to go in there and do an 11. The pulls down by myself. Yeah. Yeah, I know you weren't the only one doing the pull in there, Franken. We'll see. I have to say, like, the difference between doing the returning dungeons and doing the new dungeons, just on like a baseline tuning level, is noticeable. Like, the tuning on bosses and trash in even like Siege of Borealis is way, way friendlier. Sorry, hold on one sec, chat. Yeah, so I was saying the tuning on the returning dungeons is a lot friendlier. Hopefully their approach is not to buff all the returning dungeons. The year is 2037, Siege of Borealis, brought back for the 6th time for a Mythic Plus season. I still don't fully understand the last boss. Well, I've got some good news for you. They have simplified the last boss quite a bit. Oh, looks like our other tank may be bouncing, which means we'll be back to playing Prot. Got a new shield to brandish here. The Verdant Matrix Beacon. Bought it with Bullions earlier today. Yeah, so the last boss, it used to... So there's 2 types of tentacles that spawn on each platform, right? Okay, we're going to do one more with him, actually. So we'll go back to Fury for one more. We will need a healer for this. So let's go ahead and... I think we'll do... Let me figure out which key we're doing first, and then we'll... And then we'll list it. Also, I should probably put my Fury gear back on. Alright, I'm gonna draw mine to an 8. We'll just crush it real quick. We have an inside joke in the guild that you have to talk to the vendor like the number of times you want to drop it, because we had someone do that in season 1 or season 2. He wanted to drop his key to a 15 and he talked to the vendor 15 times and dropped it to like a 3. But yeah, the last boss of Siege of Borealis, there's 2 types of tentacles that spawn. There's, what is it called? Make sure I actually get the names right. I think it's like Grasping. Not Shrine of the Storm. gripping terrors. So these are the ones that hold like the engineer. You kill them to free the engineer. There's also a demolishing terror, which does a ton of damage. And it used to just chain spawn these demolishing terrors every like, I don't know, 45 seconds or 1 minute or something. Now it only spawns one. So there's going to be one of each on each platform. You kill the demolishing terror and then go kill the gripping terror, and then the guy gets free. He activates the cannon and you shoot the cannon at the boss. You do that on all 3 platforms and you win. There's a couple other mechanics. There's like a circle dispel that goes out. It does a pretty substantial amount of damage. So ideally... Did I actually drop my key? Yeah. So ideally you want to pop a defensive if you're not going to get dispelled. I do not have this portal on this character yet. Okay. And if the circle is overlapping other people, they take damage and get knocked back, I think. So you just want to like spread out with the circle, which is kind of a normal mechanic to do, right? Usually when you get a circle on you, you want to spread out. Other times you want to stack, but that's more like the exception than the rule. Obviously you don't go in the water, because if you do, then you'll die. And there's swirlies to dodge. Everything's pretty standard. But yeah, I think having only like the one of each tentacle spawn on each platform is an insane improvement to that fight. Makes it so much better. Alright, just waiting on a healer here. Ah, we got a dad joke redeemed. Alright. What do you call someone who is not a dad and tells dad jokes?
Grandpa.
A faux pas. Why couldn't the bicycle stand on its own? Why? I don't think I've heard this one before, or if I have, I haven't. It was too tired. There it is. Nice. Love it.
Almost got a snort out of me.
My wife really liked that one. From your daughter? Nice. You are raising her well. Waiting on a healer. I feel like I have done more waiting on healers this season than ever before. Usually it's the tanks you have trouble finding, which is why I often end up playing tanks. Maybe it says something about the state of healing right now. I don't know, I haven't healed very much since Season 1. I haven't mained a healer since Vanilla. Char is being empowered by the Dream Surge. Oh, we've got a warlock. Everyone else is inside already. I will join them inside. Grab some health stones. We're gonna relist here. Uh-oh. Okay. Took it a few seconds to list the group. Deciding when to main for War Within. It's mainly wanting to help the raid roster if I can and being able to heal or tank as well. Never really healed and scares me, but I want to try. I don't dislike healing. I just, like, I don't know. The healing classes that, like, I don't like every healer that much. I really like Resto Druid and Resto Shaman. Not so much the others, so that's already like a limited pool to choose from. And our guild usually has more healers than we need. Like right now there's just a lot of people kind of taking it easy, catching up on other games or just other stuff in life in between Dragonflight and War Within. But usually we've got like more healers than we have dungeon groups for, so usually it's not a problem having a healer. Yeah, it seems like in general, it usually feels like it's faster to find a healer than a tank. But yeah, at least tonight, and it seems like the last few weeks also, it's just taken a while. Not only DPS for raid, and we do dungeons with the guild. Yeah, that's totally fair. Oh, maybe our paladin is gonna heal for us after all. Hey, Little Lucy, what's up? Hope you've had a good week. Confirmation before we invited DPS here. Hope you're doing well. Doing some dungeons with guildies tonight. I'll be taking some after this one, but for now we're playing some DPS. Alright, let's see if we can find a good DPS here. Good weekend at least. Glad to hear it. Well, I ideally we would get a mage or a shaman or an evoker or hunter. Someone who can bring the old bloodlust. Yeah, there's no bolstering in this one, so it should be a lot less dangerous. Probably just get the Shadow Priest. I'm just gonna get the Shadow Priest. I got drums. Shadow's really good. This guy's done like 13s in here. He should be fine. Should be more than enough for an 8. We need to refile. Those catches me off guard. I'm so used to having alchemy on my characters, but my warrior is not an alchemist.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're doing Frankenski. Sneaky. I'll have to remember to reroll mine. Do I ever try and make my own weak auras or just use Luxthos? I used to make my own weak auras, but like, I don't know, man. It's a lot of work getting them just right, just how I want them. And there are several people other than Luxthos too that do really good weak auras that work for all classes. And having that consistent display across all classes is just really, really nice. So I used to, we'll see, if I have time I might do it at least for the tanks in War Within, but it's really nice having like that time to not invest in that. I prefer Apnars be no longer sadly. Yeah, actually I used his before I used Luxthos. I used his early in Shadowlands. They were fantastic. I guess switched over to Luxthos like toward the end of Shadowlands once you were able to use double legendaries and had tier sets because like he was updating to account for those, and Apnar had stopped at that point, I think.
Watch your step. Interrupt. Watch your step. Interrupt. Watch your step.
Yeah, I think everything about my UI is kind of basic these days, kind of cookie cutter. But I think there's a reason that a lot of people end up with a similar looking UI. It's like it just makes sense to most people to have things in certain places. For me, just wanting to move my major cities elsewhere, like stack vertically next to party frames. I started experimenting with just pulling those out of Luxthos packages because they're smart update and it doesn't break the rest of it. That's an interesting theory. I don't know if that's the right word. That's, yeah. I think one thing that I could improve on is actually tracking party defensives. Or like party offensive CDs too. I used to have Omni CD, whatever it's called, set up. But that was mostly for PvP, because like tracking those things in PvP is even more important than in keys, I think. I at least track interrupts, and I sometimes look at them. Let's see if we can, okay, we're not going to get him exactly where we want him. Oh, this boss is kind of melting, though. Fortified, only a +8. Why is he targeting everything at me? Yeah, one thing I've been experimenting with on the War Within beta is like having CDs tracked using just like action bars in the middle of the screen. I don't know if I like that, but seeing if I can simplify things a little bit there. I think unless you're healing or pushing higher keys, the Omni CD isn't super necessary. I guess you're a priest when to maximize PI. I mean, it is and it isn't, right? Like, I think it depends a lot on what classes you play with. Right, if you're playing with like, I don't know, a warrior DPS and a frost mage and an LE shaman, then it's like, you know, they're just gonna have their CDs up pretty much as often as they need them, and their damage is pretty consistent outside of cooldowns. But if you're playing with like a fire mage and an Aug Evoker, then like there's a huge benefit to tracking their cooldowns. Shadow Priest too. So I think it, even at lower levels, you can get a lot more out of those classes by tracking CDs. I don't know how much we're pulling here, so I'm gonna watch thread on stuff here. Okay, we are pulling this guy. That's true. You can configure pull size. Yeah, especially if you have like, ooh, I got PI here. I don't know why I got PI. I won't complain. I guess because it's shadow. You know, it's because it's a shadow priest. I'm used to playing with a holy priest or a disc priest, depending on what mood he's in. Streamer privilege. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. I think it's more just like slightly ahead of the warlock on DPS privilege. Let's not stand in frontals here. I can. Oh, we did think. Okay, let's go ahead and use for Fear Lath.
Watch your step. Shockwave.
In my head, I always call the legendary axe Firax. And it's like a real struggle for me to not do that when I'm actually talking about it. Maybe I should just roll with that. The old Firax. I don't know if that confuses people because it's too close to the boss name. It amuses me though. I will do this, I'll do this chain.
3, 2, 1. Break right. Shockwave.
Unless I die.
Watch your step.
And jump through.
Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your step.
This is a fun pull. Got a spear down though on someone. Break him out. I don't know if it's actually worth it to kill those spears. It felt like I didn't do hardly any damage to it and then he got bopped. Maybe that's just the way to go.
Watch where.
We got PI again, but I don't have any CDs up, so
Watch where.
feels kind of bad. I feel like I should save Thunderous Roar for the chains.
Break bind.
Oh, this is not great. Okay, there we go.
Chain burst. Break bind. Watch where.
It's actually Augury carrying damage right now.
Watch where. Target you. Show face. Watch your feet. Break bind.
Go more to Mew. Alright. Spine's going second. Oh, I should not have used Thunderous Roar at the end right there. It was a big waste.
Shockwave.
Ooh, got PI with cooldowns. Time to melt this back. As we do half of the Shadow Priest DPS. Yeah, I feel like Shadow Priest was the right choice. I think it just is the right choice this season. It's the reason it's in all the TGP teams.
Shockwave. Break bind.
Let's pull these in.
Shockwave.
Here come the chains. Here comes the pain.
Shockwave. Shockwave. Watch your step.
Uh-oh. Hunter got pulled. Did he just evade? He just evaded. Is he gonna come back up? Nope, he went back to sleep. Oh, that's amazing. How dare you wake me from my nap? Now I must go back to sleep.
Watch your step.
Oh, this may have been a mistake.
Watch your step.
Oh, got some big damage on this pole.
Right bite. Shockwave.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to hold off the Shadow Priest though. Maybe? We're an execute. I don't know, does Shadow Priest have any execute? I don't think they do. Do they?
Interrupt.
Shadow Priest is probably the spec I know the least about.
Break bite. Charging. Move.
They do Shadow or Death. Oh, that's true.
Shockwave.
Feels like the list of specs that don't have an execute is almost shorter these days than those that do.
Shockwave. Shockwave. Target you. Shockwave.
Nobody really likes his talent to make it super strong. It's not as key as execute, kill shot, etc. Okay. Yeah, I would imagine, especially like in a dungeon environment, it's not as valuable as like taking more AoE talents.
Shockwave.
Like I know for Fury, you don't take most of the execute talents in your standard dungeon build. But execute on its own baseline is still really good for Fury.
Shockwave.
Not as good as it is for arms. But like you're choosing between your whirlwind talents that give you the ability to actually cleave or your execute talents. And in a dungeon environment, like
Watch your step.
you're just trolling if you're taking execute over cleave.
Watch your step. Break bite. Charging. Move. Watch your step. Watch your step. Break bite.
Just chop, chop, chop. Look at the rate browser shit when I'm worried what happened to paladins. Yeah, we have a lot of paladin enjoyers. It is not the main reason, but it's one of the reasons I'm not really gonna prioritize my paladin.
Spread.
Certainly makes it easy to deprioritize that tank when there's like 3 Ret Paladins and a Holy Paladin on the roster.
Watch your step. AOE incoming. Spread. Watch your step. AOE
Make sure we're dodging here.
spread. Watch your step. AOE incoming. Spread.
Mine, mine, mine. Don't wait for the gateway. Make sure we don't face pull the mini boss here. Generally a good idea to avoid this guy on fortified weeks. On tyrannical weeks, I like to pull him with these two guys, because it's just like pretty efficient count. But on fortified, that guy is trouble. Generally good to avoid him.
Watch your step.
Oh, are we snapping these? We're snapping these guys, okay.
Watch your step.
That's, wish we would have known that before we started pumping CDs. I guess I could have been in Discord and known that, but
Watch your step.
my bad.
Shockwave. Shockwave. Watch your step.
Guess we want to talk about efficiency. This is a very efficient way to do these two guys that you have to pull.
Watch your step. Shockwave. Push back in. Shockwave. Watch your step.
I'm just gonna go ahead and use the shield here.
Break right. Watch your step. Shockwave. Shockwave.
Subtract under my damage there? Yeah. Just a cool 2.5 million damage on that pull. From the environment.
Break right.
I always forget that Avatar clears your roots. Using it right there to get rid of entangling. Definitely not necessary. Feels good though.
Shockwave. Break right. Interrupt. Shockwave.
I don't have my kick for this guy. Because I kicked nothing earlier.
Push back in. Shockwave.
Kick it right at the end. We got a lot of love spawns up, oh my word. These lava spawns are annoying because they don't die when the guy who summons them died. And they don't get count. Looks like we need to kill one more mob, so we'll probably do boss first. Then go back and kill a mob.
Watch your step. Target you. Shockwave.
I need to stay away.
Target you. Watch your step. Shockwave. Watch your feet.
Ooh, that was almost very bad. One more mob. Which guy has less health?
Shockwave.
3, 2, 1.
Grapevine. Interrupt.
Easy. Got 0 points. I think I upgraded my alternate key score by maybe a few seconds. I'm gonna reroll my key here because I don't need to do Neltharus again. And we got Halls of Infusion. Well, I would get score from that. I have no fortified Halls of Infusion on this character. Alright. I think it's tanking time. Realize my YouTube description says tanking live keys, and I haven't tanked anything yet, so time to remedy that. Also, I think I can go upgrade. I can upgrade one item right now, so we'll go do that. Time to ignore some pain, yeah, and block some shields. Let's see, I think I'm gonna finish upgrading my seal filial duty first, or augury. I'm gonna go with the ring, I get. Well, I don't know. You know what? Maybe the play is we hold our crests, and then we do some crafted items, depending on what we get in the vault next week. Maybe that's the play. Because I still have, like ideally my cloak, bracers, and probably, well, and necklace. My necklace is already crafted. You can have my food buff flavor bucket on that. So ideally, like, we can upgrade necklace, cloak, and bracers with embellishments all the way to, what would that be, 525? Maybe that's the play with our next chunk of crests. I'm gonna hold on to him for now. Alright, we're gonna do Halls plus 8. See if we can find a healer here in short order. We got a very nice warlock with an Aug Evoker. We will take them for sure. If they will take me. Alright, just need a healer now. Looks like a warlock's already in sight. Thanks again, everyone who's stopping by and hanging out, sending messages in chat. I really appreciate you all. Make sure we activate defensive stance here. Just waiting on a healer. Eternally waiting on healers. Yeah, we can take this druid. All right. So we are only, what, 10 days away from the pre-patch? I know the pre-patch event is not going live immediately. But the pre-patch itself is coming on July 23rd. So I guess it's only 9 days. So this is the 14th today, right? Feels kind of crazy, but it's that close. I'm kind of curious, like, maybe we'll need to do some research on this. If we'll still be able to get crests and do item upgrades in the pre-patch. I'm hoping to just have my warrior like completely done and ready to go by then, but we'll see. We'll see what we need to do on other characters to make up for that. I at least want to have my DK monk and druid at like a respectable level. My demon hunter's already there. Alright, we're not gonna go too crazy here with it being fortified, but I would like to pull these guys in.
Interrupt. Break rank. Interrupt.
3, 2, 1.
Break rank.
Trying to pull into the next pack here. Give a quick demo shout. For those who were not around right at the start of the stream, I'm going to spoil my next video a little bit and tell you guys that I am going to be maining Prot Warrior in War Within. So I do have a little bit of a sense of urgency to finish gearing this character up. I know most of the gear will be irrelevant just a couple of days into the expansion, but
Interrupt.
it'll make the process of leveling, especially for the first few levels, like so much faster. Maybe not that much faster. We're talking like 10 item levels, but you know, every little bit counts. Yeah, I'll be making a video, finishing up a video after stream tonight, talking about, you know, maining warrior, and then also, you know, what my plan is for the other tanks, how I'm going to prioritize each one, or for a couple of them deprioritize, I guess. So if you enjoyed the Prot Warrior video and you're enjoying the Prot Warrior content, there's plenty more to come.
Interrupt.
Let's finish these guys off so they don't get any more jumping around while we're trying to do the next pull here.
Interrupt.
What's solidified warrior for me? I mean, I'll go into more detail on this in the video, but honestly, it's just I have so much fun playing this class right now that I don't want to stop playing it. Like, Yeah, it just feels so much more fun, and that hasn't changed on the beta either, so. At least for the start of the expansion and like raid progress in Season 1, it's for sure going to be Warrior for me. Like, I just can't imagine having more fun on another tank the way things stand right now.
Shockwave. AOE incoming.
I will say, like, if there's another tank that emerges as like the absolute meta choice, and I feel like I want to push higher key levels, then like I'm open to doing a main swap at some point. Do you have a preference for hero talents, Colossus versus Mountain Thane on Warrior? I prefer Mountain Thane a little bit, but I really do like both of them. I think Warrior has now I haven't really played with Slayer yet, but at least Prot has really solid options for hero talents. Like, I would prefer to play Mountain Thane, but if the meta ends up being Colossus, I would not object to that at all. I think Demolish is a super cool ability, and yeah, just the way the tree works feels really, really cool, I think.
Shockwave.
Mountain Thane just feels awesome, though. Summoning lightning strikes and thunderclaps all around you. It just feels so fun. You also get a ton of extra rage generation from Mountain Thane, which feels good because rage generation, like as a baseline, is nerfed a little bit. Nice, we got a gateway. Let's go. A shield charge in. Oh, this hunter used flare. What a G. This Warlock is blasting. Almost 500k overall so far. So yeah, short answer, Mountain Thane. Long answer, I love both, and I would be happy playing either. Which I think is also good for Auspex, right? Because if I'm going to be playing Fury, and I know I already like Mountain Thane, feels pretty good.
Shockwave.
Get those guys out with the old Thunderclap into Revenge combo. I'm gonna Shockwave the next Disorients from these Dragonflies. Nice, got all three of them. Someone else might have single stunned to the first one there, but at least stopped all three. So yeah, Warrior is going to be the main. I am planning to play at least 2 other tanks as like somewhat serious alts. Depending on time, I want to at least do like a weekly key on all of them. I'll more than look into Brewmaster since it looks like I'll be raiding Windwalker. I'll go be done with the class. Both Brew and Windwalker, but don't really vibe with the hero talents. Yeah, the monk hero talents feel a little bit underwhelming. I think like the fixes I would want to see, at least for Brewmasters, I haven't really looked at Windwalkers too much, although the baseline changes to Windwalker seem like they're really cool. Seems like everyone in the community likes them, so, or at least everyone who I've talked to on the beta that's played it. But yeah, the hero talents are kind of eh. A Master of Harmony feels pretty good to play. I think Shadowpan just needs some numbers tweaks on like either how many stacks you can build up of the buff that it gives you, or how fast you can actually proc the damage portion. All the baseline changes feel amazing. It falls off in hero talents. Yeah, which is a little disappointing because that's like the new flashy thing, right? But I think, like, at the end of the day, if it's fun to play once you're actually in the game doing content, then like that's what matters most. I should have spell reflected that instead of interrupting it. We'll spell reflect this one instead. I don't have a kick. No. Nobody had a kick. Okay. Or the Og might have. My weak aura does not do a good job picking up Og Evoker kicks for some reason. Okay, I can reflect the next one. The Og just interrupted there, so he won't have one for a while. That's wasted spell reflect. Feels bad. That's one thing I'm looking forward to, is doing lots of spell reflecting in dungeons and like learning where you can use it in all the new ones. And on the raid fights too. I don't know, spell reflect in raids is kind of rare that you can actually get insane value out of it. But if there's a spot, I'm gonna find it.
AOE incoming. Watch your step.
Pretty man rate, yeah.
Run.
I mean, you know, if you have like, if you have big boss abilities that you can use it on, then it's just like, you have to have a Prot Warrior. And they try to avoid stuff that makes you take a specific spec, usually. Oh wait, that was dumb. I looked at the entangling and interpreted it as the frog's gulp. It's sort of like the eat thing on this boss. Ooh, okay, that's good to know.
Run.
Entangling's like, I don't know, it's such an easy affix. And like on a boss fight like this, getting stunned, unless you have a bunch of frogs on you, that could be problematic. But like generally getting stunned here is not that big of a deal. You get stunned with like 8 frogs meleeing you, then it's a different story, but thankfully that's not where we were right there. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull these guys. Got Ravager up.
Break run. Breath incoming.
So far I haven't needed to use a major CD in this dungeon yet. Maybe that means I'm just pulling too slow. Need to pull bigger. I say that as I suddenly dropped to 30%. Well, we'll probably use a major CD here, because we're going to do something a little bit reckless. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use Shield Wall, and then maybe we'll go into Last Stand after it ends.
Breath incoming.
Oh, easy pull. It was wild watching the TGP teams do this on like a 21 today.
Breath incoming.
I guess they did it on 21 last week too. Just the damage and the healing required in this place, especially on the next boss. It's absolutely insane.
Breath incoming.
Three, two, one.
Grapevine. Breath incoming.
Water healer gets some mana back. Assuming you would like to go into this fight with a full mana bar, even on a fortified key. Here we go. Dodge the cyclone. Ready to hide.
Two, one.
Grapevine. Find shelter.
Ooh.
Watch your step.
This boss is getting melted.
Three, two, one.
Which one is safe?
Find shelter.
Right here. Right here.
Watch your step.
Our druid died. Should be able to get him up though.
Three, two.
And then the boss is dead immediately. Nice. That was our first death. This has been a really clean run so far. Clean, clean. Oh, that was a very troll entangling. Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and stun these. Like, normally entangling is not bad to deal with, but when it slows you and you're trying to get out of something, it goes from being the most chill affix to one of the worst. Not the worst, but that is quite tilting. Let's go. We're able to kill all those before they split on us. Alright, we'll pull the mini boss back this way.
In flight. Run. Knocking back.
Make sure we don't get knocked off. Or waddle off.
Break line. Interrupt. Run. Knocking back. Interrupt. Break line.
I have not sat down and calculated how many crests I'm going to need to max out all my gear on Warrior, but I know it's in the hundreds at this point,
Interrupt.
which makes it a little sad that we only get 12 per timed key. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Break line.
Hopefully we can get some items in vault that'll ease that burden a little bit.
Knocking back.
I suppose on the one hand, that just means... Oh, I was a little bit late on Spell Reflect on that. On the one hand, that just means more content for you guys, right?
3, 2,
Ooh, nice, I get a little ride with the Evoker here. Oh. Well, lag spike was almost deadly. Nice. Awesome rescue. Let's see, he's probably going to sleep one of these. I'm just going to kick this one and drag it over to this guy.
3, 2, 1.
Shockwave that. I will not have a stun for this one, but hopefully someone else does. Nope.
3, 2, 1.
Make sure none of those orbs sneak under the boss.
Knocking back.
Make him cast Focus Deluge on himself there. The old cheeky Spell Reflect. Always feels good. An easy times key. Alright. Straight on to the next one. Ten ruby life pools. I don't have that portal on my warrior yet. I don't know, I feel like 8s are just so much more efficient. Probably like at least 5 minutes faster. No one's really trying to do 10s at this point in the season. We're just gonna drop it to an 8. That'll be 4 for the week once we finish that one out. Let's see, what was our damage breakdown there? Rend? It's a little bit surprising seeing it that high on the list. Guess there's lots of bleed damage. Augury does so much damage as always. Even with a relatively low crit chance on Prot Warrior. We got a lot of damage out of Golak there. Pretty good breakdown. Let's see. Who is this? This is the same hunter. Nice. We'll definitely take that hunter back. Let's fly down to the dungeon. Try to get a healer before we fill all the way up on DPS. There's a... Yeah, we'll take these guys. Maybe. There we go. Oh, now I have to relist. I should probably help click the summoning portal. We're up to 39 aspect crests now. There's 2 more dungeons and we'll be able to craft an item, if that's the route I want to go. I don't know how strong embellishments are going to be for leveling. I feel like they'll probably be good, unless they just disable them right out of the gate, which I don't think they're going to do. I haven't heard anything about that. I think they'll be pretty nice to have. Especially like the first 3 levels or so. It'd also be nice to just kind of fill in the holes of what we don't get in the vault. If we can just go straight to a couple of 525s in those slots. I'm trying to prioritize taking items with speed, But those are obviously a little bit hard to come by. I don't think anything I'm wearing right now has speed on it other than the enchants. Yeah, I do have a couple of rings that I'll be leveling with that have speed. So that'll be nice. We can grab this warlock. I like playing with warlocks. Health stones are always good to have. He's standing right here already. They generally do good damage and generally don't die. Now, we don't want to go too crazy on the pulls in this first area. Obviously, we want to time the key. But some of these pulls can get kind of insane on 4 to 5 weeks. Let's see, I don't think I need to re-up anything else. File. File always gets me. I don't know why I used to. This dungeon is not going to take 60 minutes. Alright, everybody's ready. Here we go, everybody.
2, 1.
Pre-pot. Start dungeon.
Watch your step.
Let's pull this bit. I'm not gonna mess around. We're gonna pop shield wall right out of the gate here. Probably go into Rage Heart. I have a full ignore pain up right now, so maybe not. You know, we'll go ahead and pop Rage Heart. It does damage too, so it doesn't ever hurt to hit that thing on CD.
Watch your step.
Since we don't have bolstering, I'm just gonna chain pull a little bit. Pop last stand here. Probably spending too much rage on revenge, but we're not in any real danger yet.
3, 2, 1.
Pull this guy around the corner.
Crowd control.
Make sure that slam doesn't get off. Wait for that guy to pad away. This Chill Weaver is probably going to get pulled. Pop my Rage Heart while we're getting in position here.
Charging.
3, 2, 1.
Just don't stand in the way of that. Oh, he just destroyed those guys.
Charging. Move. Right right. Charging.
The difference between how it feels on Fortified on Warrior versus every other tank is insane. My health bar just doesn't move.
Charging. Move.
Which is one of the things that I really like about Prot Warrior. And I think that's something that's not really going to change in Season 1, at least relative to the other tanks. Just how strong you feel
Charging. Move.
against normal abilities. Even special abilities like that. Unfortunately, we gotta wait for the Warlock to run over here. Shouldn't be too long. The boss should be relatively easy. Knock on wood. Alright, our Warlock friend is here. So we're going straight into the boss. I'm gonna save Ravager for the ads. I don't know if that's the best idea, but... This boss, you can basically just use Spell Reflect on cooldown.
Collides.
3, 2, 1.
Great run. Interrupt.
Second place for sturdiness either goes to Monk or Bear in beta. It feels like him. Yeah. Dude, Bear... I don't understand. Like, for all the flaws that it has in the talent tree department, Bear just feels good.
Collides.
Brew definitely feels sturdy too, which is not a surprise. Oh, that's not what we want to see. I need these ads on me.
Interrupt.
A little shockwave. In 5 seconds when it's up.
Watch your step.
Ran a 2K9 490 barrel and it feels fine even now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Watch your step.
my bear's like 470-ish right now. Like, it feels fine. It just feels bad when you're setting up the character and it's like, I can't take half the talents that I wish I could. And my other characters can take everything they want. But then, like, actual gameplay-wise, it's fun. It's boring. Yeah. It's easy. It can feel boring when you're like doing your 3-button rotation, but let's go this way. I don't want to fight Storm whatever on a fortified key.
Interrupt.
Hopefully they didn't pull him.
Interrupt.
Rather just burn down Flame Goulet. Easy is a better term. Yeah. I still think, like, for someone who's just learning to tank, Bear is still a great choice. It's like you do close to optimal damage with relatively low effort.
AOE incoming.
Lets you really focus on learning, like, the dungeons and the content that you're doing and just the concepts and principles of tanking. It's also one of my favorite tanks for, like, early in an expansion for kind of the same reason.
AOE incoming.
But I'm just having too much fun with Warrior to put it down right now.
AOE incoming. AOE incoming.
We'll do Flame Goulet after we finish off this Destroyer. I feel like pulling them together would be not the best idea. Just make sure, try and face his Flame Breath away. You can't control where he shoots it, unfortunately, but...
Great run. Breath incoming.
As long as people can dodge that. This guy is quite a bit easier than his thunderous counterpart. Some people bash away when they're new to tanking unless they normally a melee DPS and they send the blood decay. I think that's a good way to handle it. Alright, we're gonna go into this with last stand up just because I've got relatively low health. Not that I don't trust the shaman, but I don't know. I think one of the things about a lot of us tanks is we're kind of like control freaks and want to have everything be in our own hands. The shaman's doing a fine job, but if I can do something that's going to help my survival, I'm going to do it.
AOE incoming. AOE incoming. Run.
Kill off these scorch things while I wait for everybody to catch up.
Interrupt. Crowd control. AOE incoming.
Oh. Oh no. This is not what you want to have.
Breath incoming.
We're trying to skip Thunderhead.
Crowd control.
Task failed successfully.
Back.
That knockback is insane.
Breath incoming.
Finish off the Flame Dancer at least. I don't think there's any way the Destroyer dies here. Not before I do. Yeah. Try to avoid the dragon. Certainly not the easiest thing to do. Some of these packs have a lot going on, and watching for the patrol path of these dragons is not everybody's priority. Hey Carthage, how you doing, man? I think, you know what, I think we just pull it. I think we just go for it.
Breath incoming.
Make sure I don't get punted too far here. Thanks for the welcome back. Yeah, I had a
Breath incoming.
pretty good vacation. We got lots of good family time. Lots of time to unplug and recharge.
Looking back.
Doing alright. Got knocked back real far there. Just wrapped up 100% bronze stuff from Remix. Nice. I played so much Mob Remix for the first like 2 weeks. And then, I don't know, I just like stopped prioritizing it.
Looking back.
I kind of wish I had done more, but I definitely didn't like go in with the goal of like I'm gonna 100% everything. I think I got the enjoyment that I wanted out of it though. Like Mop was one of my, maybe not my favorite, but close to my favorite expansion for sure. Might be my favorite expansion. I think I had the most fun in MoP of any expansion. It was kind of like the culmination of the guild that I'd been playing with since like the first week of Wrath of the Lich King. We stuck together like all through Cataclysm and all through MoP, and then kind of fell apart when oh no, come back here you guys. Kind of fell apart when Warlords had a lack of content early on. Well, this is really bad. Well, this destroyer's almost dead. Just kill it. Just kill it. Okay, we can survive this. But yeah, I loved MoP. I had so much fun in it. And I had a lot of fun with Remix too. It's like leveling up and doing all the content again. I think I can keep this bull alive actually. Yep, just dodge the blaze of glory here and we're good to go. Now, sadly, we did not kill this destroyer the first time around. Good thing is the timer in here is pretty friendly this season. Remix was perfect for me. I hadn't played in a year. I loved MoP when it was new, and this was perfect from a standpoint of exactly how much I needed to get all the purchables. That's true. Knowing like exactly what you need to do to get collectible items, that can be really motivating. I've never been too big on collectible stuff. I mean, maybe that's not entirely true. I've never been too big on like getting all of the collectible stuff. I like the things that are like hard to get and present a challenge. Like, I mean, obviously I'm wearing like full Mage Tower stuff on my warrior, because that was like a good, fun personal challenge. Okay, making sure the Warlock's actually up here. Oh, I should have saved Ravager. That was dumb. Could have gotten a real good cleave.
Shockwave. Interrupt 1. Defensive. Interrupt 2. Run. Bait now.
Should have reflected that dot.
Shockwave.
My bad. These guys are doing good baiting. So we cleared everything up here, so we have all the room in the world.
Bait now. Shockwave. Interrupt 1. Defensive. Interrupt 2. Run. Bait now. Shockwave.
We lost our healer. I'm gonna commanding shout here. It's like the one-time commanding shout has actually been useful in since season 1 of Dragonflight.
Bait now.
Nice. Boss dead. Let's go. Definitely don't need to be too crazy on pulling stuff here.
AOE incoming.
But yeah, I'm glad to be back. Had a great vacation. It was maybe like a day or two shorter than we're used to, but we had a great time with family. And I'm happy to be back doing my thing again. Glad to hear it. Thank you. I do want to pull these side guys, just because these get pulled during the boss half the time, it feels like.
AOE incoming.
Definitely use more defensives in here than the Halls of Fusion run. Only the one full wipe though. And that was when you body pull one of those dragons in the middle of another pull. Like, I don't know what you actually do to avoid a wipe. Alright, let me get these side packs. At least this one here. Try and get Avatar back up for the middle pack. That's close enough.
AOE incoming. AOE incoming. Attack shield.
3, 2, 1.
Break fire. AOE incoming.
Hunter's not letting me have any fun with Spell Reflect here. There we go. Alright, we'll get this pack now. Finish him off while the boss gets ready. Mana? Guess not.
Breath incoming. Defensive. Defensive. Run out. Breath incoming.
Oh dear. Get the dragon down to almost 30% before he lands. That's insane.
Run out. Breath incoming.
This boss is getting obliterated.
Defensive. Run out.
I mean, you didn't spell reflect another one of the storm slams. That was wild. Just over a minute to kill that boss. I'll take it for sure. Jeez. Alright, what did the key go to? Uldaman, huh? Alright. Guess we can do Uldaman. Don't want to do it on a 10 though. We'll see if we can find a healer for this one. Do I recall you saying your guild is recruiting for the War Within? And if so, what days do you raid? Yes, we are recruiting for the War Within. Mainly DPS, but we have some flexibility with what we bring in. We raid Tuesday and Thursday from 9 o'clock to midnight Pacific time. 9 p.m. to midnight Pacific time. So we're just a 2-day guild. We only really do heroic. But yeah, if that sounds good to you, we'd love to bring you in and see if we'd be a good fit for each other. Could be cool. I'm looking currently prefer later guilds, later raids like that. Yeah, we've got a lot of like. I mean, you're probably used to the crowd that's up late gaming, right? Lots of dad gamers, lots of like restaurant business people. Tend to be pretty relaxed and also roast each other a fair bit, so if that sounds fun, we're definitely recruiting. This guy's druid's name is Istanbul. I really hope he's a high mountain tauren. I'm gonna take this priest though. I think we grabbed this dragon. Priest declined invite. That's too bad. So Shaman is probably fine. Using +2 in here. His main is a 3k tank. Yeah, we'll take him. We'll take him. Getting everybody summoned. Go get some score from Uldaman here. Not that score even matters at this point in the season. Not even remotely close to pushing for title. But that's not ever a goal that I pursued, so. Alright, just make sure we get everybody in here. We can do our ready check. All right.
Five, four, three, two, one.
I feel like to start with a little bit of a crazy pull even on fortified in here. I don't know, maybe not as crazy as some groups go, but let me get this thing real quick. Get some movement speed out of combat.
Run.
Let's hit everything with shockwave.
Interrupt.
Oh, I was over 600k DPS for a minute there.
Break run.
Oh boy. Taking a little bit of damage.
Interrupt. Break run.
Just a little bit. These basilisks are no joke.
Interrupt. Run. Interrupt. Interrupt. Interrupt.
I could do a better job of not having gaps in shield block, I guess.
Run.
It's one of those things where like you build up such high duration of it that sometimes I just stop looking at it, which is not the right play.
Interrupt. Interrupt. Break run.
We got CDs. I'm pulling these guys in. Don't have Ravager yet, but
Run.
we can demo shout. Last stand. Yeah, we'll shield wall too for good measure. Now we got Ravager up.
Run. Interrupt. Run.
We're cooking in this dungeon so far. Alright, now we got 3 bosses with like 2 trash pulls in between.
Watch your step.
3, 2, 1.
Grapevine. Attack totem.
Make sure we kill this totem quickly. Nice. I think the measure of how successful your Uldaman run is going to be is, are you able to kill that totem off every time before he summons the next wave of ads? If you're consistently missing that, it's probably going to be a pretty rough run. If you are able to hit it every time, then things tend to go pretty smoothly. Reflect this chain. Ah, I was going to reflect that chain lightning.
Watch your step.
Yeah, this guy's just gonna die here. You even dump some rage into execute on him. Go back and do the dwarves. No, that sadness all too well with reflecting interrupted. It's such like a... I don't even know how to describe it. It's like both very sad and also encouraging, because it means your group is interrupting, right? Like, I'd rather have my group interrupt and mess with spell reflect than have people not interrupt and
Shockwave.
like everybody dies. What the... Oh. I shifted my I shifted to my alternate bar, which is where I have all my professions and stuff. Oops. It's like, yay, DPS interrupted, but also, damn it. It's so true. That's exactly how it feels. Let's pull these guys around the corner if we can.
Shockwave.
Those guys just got destroyed in there. What was that, touch of death? Nope. Maybe. Oh, I forgot to get the mining thing in that room. We'll grab the one in this room. Oh, our demon hunter got it. Nice. I get rescued ahead. Look at this privilege. Look at this streamer privilege, chat. I mean, I guess when you have a demon hunter and a monk for your DPS, like, of course you would rescue the tank. And the healer can catch up whenever, you know? Let's kill this guy in this hallway. Dwarves will open the door for us. Let's get this guy out now. Alright, on to boss number 3.
Knocking back.
Come on.
Knocking back.
Pretty aggressive about keeping those stacks off of him. I have made the mistake, I think the last time I ran this place, of letting him get his Titanic empowerment off. That is not the play.
Back.
These guys are just absolutely melting him.
Knocking back.
The Resto Shaman's doing more damage than I am. Of course, I'm cutting the boss for half the fight, so...
Break right. Knocking back.
I'll Stormbolt him. I think he's gonna die real fast here, so I'm gonna save Avatar for the next pull. Because I like to do a big pull coming out of this boss. Make sure I have enough to survive it.
Interrupt. Crowd control.
Oh,
Crowd
our,
control.
okay, we lost our Demon Hunter. That's not great.
Interrupt.
Shockwave. Get Ravager down. Spam Ignore Pain.
Interrupt.
Make sure we don't lose shield block.
Interrupt.
I feel like this dungeon you can kind of just spell reflect on CD and you're gonna get pretty big value out of it by the end of the dungeon.
Crowd control.
Shield wall here. Stuff should start dying quickly. Shockwave again. Come on. Stuff needs to die here. Okay. Alright, made it through that relatively unscathed. Give the healer a quick compliment here. I've made this guy work so far. He is holding his own for sure. While also doing over 100k DPS overall.
Watch your step.
Massive shout out to Savvy of Laughing Skull here.
Watch your step.
2, 1.
Break line. AOE incoming. Watch your step. Crowd control. AOE incoming. Watch your step.
Damage in this key, even just like on some of these single packs, is just brutal.
Interrupt. Watch your step. Crowd control. Interrupt. AOE incoming. Watch your step.
3, 2, 1.
Watch your step.
One of the things I do like about this dungeon is the amount of like huge AoE pulls you can do. Some of them are kind of stressful, but it's fun when you can pull them off. You've been able to do it very consistently with this group. And now Emberon. Honestly, I think if Emberon was the last boss of this place, I would have a more positive view of this dungeon. I'm not going to say entirely positive, because, like, I have a lot of gripes with this dungeon.
Spread.
But the main one, for me at least, is just how stinking long it is. Are we in a one-phase Emberon?
Defensive.
Not quite. We did have lust up at the start there. 21%? 20%?
Laser on you. Right.
Under 20%. That is... Dude. That is wild. I know it's fortified, but... Holy... This Windwalker is going insane. Just ping the dead guy. I didn't see exactly what happened. I think he fell rushed into the fire.
Defensive.
Let's not aim that at the group.
Break line.
Jeez. We've had some fast boss kills tonight. Again, I know it's fortified, but like, that was wild. And now we do the second part of the dungeon. 4 bosses in, and we're almost halfway done.
Crowd control.
That is obviously very tongue-in-cheek, but this dungeon is so long.
Crowd control. Crowd control.
Trying to get this to a place where these guys in line of sight. If they need to. Didn't exactly work.
Crowd control. Crowd control. Break line.
Yeah, I want to pull the bat here too. Alright, we're gonna do this little 3-pull on its own, because those two golems are pretty wicked on fortified. I know there's a good line of sight spot, but we are absolutely chilling on the timer, so we've earned the right to do a couple of small pulls here, I think. Oh, get on me, please. On me. Alright, I'm going to need to run out here, which feels really bad. Okay, there we go. Made it hard for these guys to line of sight, but well, everybody else was able to. Yeah, I'm gonna break it this way, and you guys can run back this way. Oh, it's gonna reflect that curse of stone.
Interrupt. Grapevine.
Oh man.
Grapevine.
Please don't kick this. Ah. Would have reflected it. We should make a macro that says spell reflect is up, please don't kick. And then 5 seconds later, spell reflect is down, you may kick. I don't know, that might look silly when you're using it in like spots for just defensive, like the DR that you get from it.
Grapevine.
Unfortunately, Spell Reflect does not stop stolen time from being applied.
Break ground.
Alright. Easy way. The warrior way. If anyone's having trouble, they can get rescued up, but it looks like everybody's made it. Here we go. I can only hope Chrono Lord Deus melts as fast as the other bosses did. I do not like this fight.
Defensive. Knocking back. Defensive.
And time to get in. Once we fully ate a couple of those, feels good.
Knocking back.
Don't like the positioning of the new ones there. Don't like that one bit. Feel like I'm gonna get cut off trying to get to the
Defensive.
other side of the room now.
Knocking back. Break ground. Defensive.
Hope he's casting it. Pay attention, Thor.
Watch your defensive. Knocking back. Break ground.
I'm getting knocked out of Entangled. It's like the one time a knockback actually feels good. Maybe not the one time, but you know what I mean. We got a ring. This is the ring I took out of the vault that has speed on it, I think. Yep. Anyone want ring? If not, I will vendor it. No, the Og Evoker doesn't because it doesn't have any mastery on it. Cool, Monk will take it. Where did I put it? All right. Well, chat, I am tired, and I think I'm going to call it a stream right there. Thank you everyone who hung out. Thank you for the Prime and all the Twitch subs that we've had over the last couple of weeks. Really can't say enough how much I appreciate that. I'm really enjoying streaming with you guys, and I hope that we continue to hang out and have good times as we head toward War Within. I'm going to be trying to finish up a video tonight on which character I'm going to main in War Within and how I'm going to prioritize the different tanks. So be on the lookout for that. If you guys want, I do have a Discord server. You can find the link on my Twitch and YouTube pages. There's a chat command on Twitch as well. So if you want to hang out in Discord and check that out, you can do that as well. We do have memberships available on YouTube now. No requirement for that for sure, but yeah, you guys can reach out on any of that. Carthage, who's the best person? What's the best way to contact about guild info? Let's see. I don't think you can send DMs on YouTube, right? No. Send me a message on Discord. If you join the if you join my Discord, you can send me a message on that. I'm one of our officers. I'm actually our raid leader, so I can get you a G invite if you'd like, or just get you like more details about our raid group and everything. Just on Discord to hit you up there. Perfect. Awesome. All right, I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. I'll be streaming tomorrow night as well, and I'm hoping to have a video going up tomorrow about how I'm going to be prioritizing my different characters in War Within. So until next time, peace.